you know what? Stuff happens and you make us change. And so that's what we did today. I'm super excited because Sally and I were just getting prepared to interview, one of our guests for the book launch, Invisible No More, Invincible Forevermore. And they weren't able to come on, which was fine. And so Sally's like, I just saw Sally, take us through the scenario. What just happened?
I'm sitting here and I can look outside the door here and I see the delivery guy delivering a package and I'm like, oh, I think it's my books. So here's what I got. And you see who it's from? It's from Linda Sunshine West.
Don't show my address.
No, I'm not showing your address. So I'm like, hey, I got your books. So I'm like, let's do it live and unbox it. So I have it here. And so I'm going to.
It's your book. It's your book too.
Well, my book, yeah. It's my book. I don't know. Which way am I going? All right, hold on. My computer's weird. All right.
Let's see what you got. What you got? What you got? What you got?
Off the paper.
It's like Christmas all over again.
How beautiful that
is. Look at it.
Oh my gosh.
Sally, you might be the first one that's gotten the copies of the authors because I know they've been taking a while. The shipping has changed. Everything's changed, because of COVID and stuff. Yeah, look at that. So awesome.
Like the never ending books.
Yes, like Mary Poppins in her carpet bag, right?
There you go. So there it is. And I got my book. So if anyone is interested in autographed copies, I got them for you. Reach out.
What do you think about the feel? What do you think about the feel?
Soft. They feel like you could sleep on them.
That's what I've said. It feels like a pillow. Like I'm just gonna sleep on it. I'm gonna sleep on it.
Baby has that nice feel. They both have that really nice feel.
Yeah, it's called a matte feel. It's my favorite, so I always get the matte feel. The glossy ones, they just don't thrill me too much. But these, because you know why? I'm a tactile person. I love tactile. I mean, touching things. And so there was this lady I used to work with. She was a court reporter, and she would walk into our office, and she always had the most interesting looking clothes on. And I would just say, "Can I pet you?" It's like every time I'd see her, I'd pet her because I love it's for me. It's like I got that feeling, And so, don't worry, I just petted her shoulder. That was it.
Just sleep with these tonight, I think. Just make it.
Let me sleep on it, baby, baby. Let me sleep on it. Oh, awesome! I love it.
There
it is. So you can get your copy of Invisible No More, Invincible Forevermore at invincibleforevermore.com. If you like the feel of books, you're going to love the feel of this one because it feels like a pillow. You can actually sleep on it. And, check this out. That's right. If you want to be in a collaboration book, because this book is a 5 times #1 best-selling book, Invisible No More, Invincible Forevermore. You can type the word book or text the word book to 619-329-9085 and join us on one of the many, many collaborations we have coming up. Sally and I have, one that we're working on. Sally, what's that one's called?
It's Women Action Takers Who Think and Grow Rich, and it is based on the book by Sharon Lechter called Think and Grow Rich for Women. So we're going to be doing a mastermind and book study on this, and then we're going to be creating a book with it too. So
yeah, lots of good stuff coming up. Here's some of the other titles I have coming up. Women Action Takers with Healing Powers. Women Action Takers Serving Their Purpose. Women Action Takers Redefining Disabilities as Beauty Marks. Women Action Takers Who Step Up and Speak Out. And there's our Think and Grow Rich one. Women Action Takers Who Fly. First Love Yourself. Women Action Takers Who Move Inward and Upward. Women Action Takers with Unshakable Courage. Women Action Takers Who Are Real. Really empowering another's life. Women action takers standing up for justice and women action takers with blended families. Those are some of the titles that are coming up. And the common theme behind here is, of course, women action takers. But what I decided to do, I thought would be really fun, Sally, is I'll show a couple of the titles coming up. For example, women action takers who step up and speak out Misty Lane and I are partnering together on that book, and her whole message is step up and speak out. And mine is women action takers. So we're combining, co-combining our brands together to create a project, as well as women action takers who move inward and uplift. That is Betty Morin, and she's in the Invincible Forever More book. But she and I, again, we're doing that co-branding with each other. Women action takers with unshakable courage, Kim Glass. That's her program, Unshakable Courage. So we're coming together to co-brand our, the books, and I just thought it'd be a fun way to be able to brand both of us at the same time, our messages at the same time, and get that message out there. And I'm excited to work on the book with you because you're just really killing it. You are not only a self-care rock star, but you are a rock star, and you're doing all kinds of amazing things now. And why don't you just go and share? We'll stay on here for like 5 minutes, okay? 5 more minutes. So like share with us, like, what is it that you're doing now? Because I know that you've had a cleaning business for many, many years. COVID came, it like crushed you, and you're like, wow, now what? Now what? Now what? So what did you do during that now what time?
Well, I'll tell you, I totally shifted everything that in my life, and a lot of it is Forbes Riley, who when I in July, after I started eating healthier and walking regularly, and I had lost at that point, I think like 25 pounds or so. And I was sitting here one night and heard Forbes Riley saying that she was looking for authors for a collab book that she had done. I had no idea what a collaboration book even was at that time. And like I said, I was living in my own little world here, and I stepped out of my comfort zone, and I said, you know what, I'm going to do this. And at first I was like, all right, so now what do I do? What do I do with this? I'm in a book, and I had my own cleaning business, and I'm like, well, I can't clean virtually, so I need to have something where I'm offering people a service. And I had been on this healthcare journey for at that point then 8 or 9 months, and I had lost 40 pounds, and I was had more energy, and I was like, I'm just going to keep going with this. And so she came out with another book in January, and then I met Linda, and she had 2 books. I'm like, I'm in, and I keep saying yes, and I'm on this journey, and it's been just a remarkable change from where I was 2 years ago. I would never have imagined that I would be where I am now.
It's awesome how that simple word, yes, will change your life, right? Because I believe, we have opportunities all around us, and we see the opportunity. Oftentimes we pass it up because of whatever fear might be stopping us, or like maybe doubts of, self-doubt. There's so many different reasons why we might not, why we might let an opportunity pass us by. But you said yes, like, here is this opportunity. I have no idea what it is, what it's all about, but I'm going to say yes anyway. And then I'll figure it out, is what you've been doing. And it's awesome because now you're putting together courses, you're helping other people, or, co-collaborating with other people on courses and things like that. So it's like you're taking this whole other twist into a world that you didn't even know about 2 years ago, all because you said yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And, it's funny. And I think I was reading somebody's chapter, and they said something about how, a lot of times we don't step out of our comfort zone. And I think we just get so caught up in just living our daily lives. And I think I was on a podcast just last week, and I said, here I am, this cute, adorable mom, wife, daughter, sitting in Connecticut 2 years ago. And all of a sudden, my whole world was rocked because I stepped out of my comfort zone, and I started saying yes to opportunities that I was afraid to before. I think we feel like what our purpose is, and we know what our purpose is. A lot of we know deep down what our purpose is. We know deep down, but we're afraid because we don't know how. Yeah. I want to be able to pay my mortgage every week or every month without having to worry about it. Well, I don't know how I'm going to do that. So you don't do anything. I want a new car. I want an exciting new relationship. I want new friends. How am I going to do that? I have no idea. So I don't even try. But the thing is, you need to step out there in faith and say yes, and just tell people, oh yeah, I'm doing this, and then go out and just figure it out as you go along. You don't need to have all the answers to say yes.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Because sometimes the answers you do have are the wrong ones. So
Exactly.
that doesn't work either. I want to show just really quickly a little commercial that we have for Sally with her chapter in the book, Invisible No More, Invincible Forevermore, that she just got in the mail. So here we Okay, yes, it's an abrupt ending, but it's the ending.
But I like to say, you know what, that I came full circle, because books are what got me through as a 12-year-old,
Mm.
coming home and just escaping into a book was my way of dealing with what I was going through. And a lot of times, sometimes that book was the Bible, but a lot of times it was just books like this. And if I had a book like this, it would have been amazing. So, whatever you're going through, this book is going to change lives. I can feel it, because the stories and the women that I have met through this book are just phenomenal. I can't believe. I mean, the women are amazing, and it's just a crazy fun group of women who are just all inspiring.
Yeah, they really are. And it's interesting is in my path, I ended up meeting these women along the journey. And the longest I've known any of them is probably 6 years, would be Pamela. I think she was the first one I met. But the majority of the women I've met in the last year and a half to 2 years, and just hearing their stories, hearing them tell those stories, and like, oh my God, this is a perfect story for this book. Because the purpose of all of the work that I do is to inspire and motivate people to take action, to live the life that they truly want to live. Now, no one can decide for you what that action is, or what that life looks like. Only you can do that. So what I did is I sat down and I said, you know what, this is what I want out of the rest of my life. And that is to have as much fun as possible, hanging out with positive and uplifting people who are making a positive impact on the planet. So how do I do that? I look for people who are positive and uplifting, and I go hang out with them. And that's as simple as it has been. And my journey, because of making that declaration, which I call it my personal declaration that I made about 6.5 years ago, that by making that declaration, what has happened is my life has unfolded, it's actually upended itself from what it used to be to what it is today. And I'm now surrounded by positive, uplifting people who are making a positive impact on the planet. That's who I'm attracting to me, because that's who I'm looking for. So really, like, sit down and think about, like, what do I want out? What do I want out of the rest of my life? What do I want out of the rest of my life? And then just think about it, and don't feel like anything's too hard to achieve, or anything's too astronomical for you to imagine. Think about Elon Musk. Some of the ideas he comes up with. I bet some people have said, "You are a looney tune," but he doesn't let that stop him. He doesn't let that stop him. So how can you yourself change your life? You don't have to be like Elon Musk. You don't have to be one of these persons who is changing the world by, like, with millions or billions of people. You can be just changing one person's life in your family, or one person's life that you encounter, and that ripple effect will happen, and you will be the catalyst that has changed so many people's lives. And with that, I want to throw it back over to Sally, because Sally, tell us about the Bible study that you held. You held a Bible study for some young kids, and what was the impact that Bible study had on your life, but also on their life? Because I'm sure you've heard from some of them since that time.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I believe we we saved some of these kids' lives. Um, when we went into this, me and my friend, this was back in 2006. My daughter was just about to enter 7th grade, and we started a Bible study for teenagers. And we started with her 2 kids and some of their friends, and my daughter and a couple of her friends. So we had 5 or 6 kids, and um, we did a Bible study where we actually opened up the Bible with these kids and had them reading Bible passages. And we grew this in 4 years to 50 kids coming on a regular basis on Friday nights. And to get 50, 12, and 13-year-olds to come on Friday nights to a Bible study, this wasn't fun and games. This was actually reading the Bible. And we had discussions with these kids over parents were getting divorced, or one night the kid came in crying his friend had just committed suicide. So we stopped everything and we went through this thing, and we looked at each other and we're like, what is going on here? And it was just every week it was a God, what I call a God wink, that these things happened, that we were part of these kids' lives, and the things that they were sharing with us, the things that these kids were going through was so immense and so heavy that to come there and to be able to release it out for them was so freeing. And it's been this journey ever since. And it was me stepping out at that time and saying, I think you're somebody I think I'm somebody you've been praying for. I mean, that was the hardest phone call I ever had to make, but I couldn't sleep until I called up, because I had this nagging voice in my head saying, call them up and tell them that you're the one, tell them that you're going to help them. And it was just in my head. And I was like, all right, I got to call this woman back and tell her that I'm going to help her, because I can't get it out of my head that I'm not.
Yeah, isn't that interesting too? Because that was outside of your comfort zone. But we hear things like, I was called to do it. I felt inspired to do it. And there's something that sometimes pulls us to something. And a lot of times we'll resist it because it is new, it is scary, but you didn't let that stop you. And so it's so fascinating to me how, because just as human beings, we have so much power, and the choices that we make, those are the ones that are going to help us to move us into that next phase or not. And we get to decide. So I'm so glad, for me, I'm so glad I met you, and you've made an impact in my life. And I love working with you. I think you're absolutely incredible. And, sharing your story, because, part of your book is about sharing your chapter is about sharing your story, the power of sharing your story. And so it's really important for people to step up and say, what, my story does matter, because maybe it doesn't matter to you, or you don't think it's worthy, or you don't think it matters to somebody, but the person hearing it, that's the one. They need to hear your story. I was talking to somebody today on a Zoom call, and she was sharing with me her story. And what was interesting about it for me is like, I didn't know what her story was, so I didn't know where it was going to go. And you never know how something's going to impact you until you're there. And so as I was hearing of her challenges that she has gone through in life, it made me truly, truly grateful, even more grateful for what I do have. So sometimes sharing your story is the simple matter of helping somebody to see how grateful they are for what they have, or how grateful they are for the gifts that they've been given in their life. Maybe that's what your story is meant to share, and so it's by sharing it, there's going to be an impact somewhere. So yes, definitely share your story. But Sally, we have, oh my gosh, today's our launch day of the book, Invisible No More, Invincible Forever More. It's our official launch. We launched it on Tuesday. It became a #1 best-selling book on last Tuesday. And that was, just happenstance, because we didn't know, there we go. She's got the books in the mail. We didn't know that, I didn't know it was going to be so high up on the rankings. We were at number 146 Tuesday morning. And so I just reached out to all the ladies and I said, hey, do you want to go for it? Do you want to become best-selling authors today, or do you want to wait until Monday? And they all said, let's do it today. Let's do it. Because, that's the thing, is like, we grabbed momentum. There was momentum that was happening already, and we weren't even working at it, right? So what do? You grab the rest of that momentum and you keep going. And for sometimes you might be scared. you might be scared because you don't know what to do. And so for this particular project, I was at the helm of I was the captain at the helm of the ship, and I was steering it, saying, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this. And people just, doing what needed to be done in order to make it happen. So super exciting. And I just checked right now, we're number 2. We are number 2 in women's personal growth. And so we're looking to move that into number 1, of course. And we're number 3, we're number 7 in one other category, 7 in self-esteem, self-help. We're number 4 in spiritual growth, self-help. But we're going to move into those spaces of number 1. We're working on it. We're going to make it happen.
If you haven't gotten the Kindle book, hop onto Amazon and pick it up today, because these stories are going to change lives.
Exactly. And just go to invincibleforevermore.com. You'll see it down there at the bottom of the screen, invincibleforevermore.com. It'll take you straight to today, at least on August 30th and August 31st. It'll take you straight to the Amazon page. After that, it'll go back to our website. But Sally, I'm excited to see you in 35 more minutes, where we have 4 hours of interviewing incredible women. So please, hop on to that stream, and looking forward to seeing everybody then. And it's Linda Sunshine West of the Women Action Takers. And I'm looking forward to empower you to write, publish, and market your story so you can get your message out into the world. Everybody have a great day, and hopefully we'll see you on one of those other live streams.